Incredible video from Chicago's Midway Airport this morning. You can see the moment a Southwest Airlines plane nearly collides with a private jet on the runway. The company says the flight crew was forced to perform a go-around in order to prevent a crash. And this close call comes as the U.S. aviation authorities are investigating a string of safety incidents in recent weeks, including one, of course, with a Delta jet that was in Toronto. Sarah Galashan is watching this. Let's start in Chicago. What more do we know about what happened here?
I mean, Ian, this is some pretty incredible plane spotter video taken by somebody, gets to the AMNets, and now we have it here. And this is 8:50 in the morning, Chicago time. Southwest Flight 2504 goes in for its landing, and what you see is that before and coming very close to the runway, instead of going for that runway, within seconds of it, it pulls up instead very sharply. And the reason, well, this is the actual landing here. Nope, sorry. This is what we're looking at here. It pulls up quite quickly. And the reason being, this plane down here, the FlexiJet, is a Bombardier Challenger 350. It had not been given authorization to make that cross across that runway. The Southwest, in the transcripts that we're seeing from the air traffic control at the end of it, the pilot from the Southwest plane, who is given a lot of credit for this, asked the control tower, how did this happen? That FlexiJet plane, it's fractionally owned by a number of pilots. There does appear from those transcripts to be some confusion on the part of that pilot. But the FAA, FlexiJet is investigating. The FAA, no surprise, also investigating what happened here. This is very much a near miss.
Yeah, and no surprise with American aviation authorities. We get all these details so quickly. And interesting, I wondered if it was a ground control issue, but it does sound like it was a pilot issue with the smaller private plane, at least at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Really interesting. So when there is anything in the news, and then there's another thing related to it, and then anything after that that comes close to it, suddenly it becomes news too. So it seems as if we have this string of aviation problems. Is it as bad as it sounds?
I mean, there's been some very high-profile aviation disasters in many cases, deadly events that have happened. And so I think a lot of eyes are right now on any aviation headlines that we see. But take a look at this footage. I mean, to that point, we just lost it there, but that is smoke that was filling the cabin of a Delta flight that, and you can see it here. The passengers on board this plane, this was Monday morning, were told, breathe into your clothing, keep your heads low. This plane had to quickly circle back to Atlanta and land. And to the point of, do we pick up on something because of another headline? Just on Saturday, another Delta flight, very similar scenario, takes off from Los Angeles, heads towards Australia, and there's smoke found in the galley and has to turn around and land again. So, but you know, so headlines feed headlines, perhaps. But in the case of that near miss that we're looking at here in Chicago, these kinds of near misses, actually, there is a bit of a rise since 2023 as the airlines and airports have recovered from the pandemic and there's suddenly more traffic. To that point, the FAA announced that they were investigating, or rather doing an audit of the 45 busiest airports in the United States, as for what they call incursion risk. And incursion risk means a plane heading onto a runway that is simply not supposed to. And could that be because of the configuration of the runways? Could that be because there is some issues with control tower communications? They are looking into that, because, in fact, there is to some extent an increase in this kind of near-miss situation happening.
Imagine what it was like for that pilot to be landing. You think everything's set, everything looks perfect, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you see this jet crossing in front of you.
I wish I could play you the air traffic control. It didn't really play out very well, so we didn't play it, but so calm. These pilots are so calm when they're talking.
I admire it so much. Sarah, thank you very much.
You bet.